everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarai and this is Created to Be Loved, a space where I help women heal from unworthiness and find their identity in Jesus. I want to start this video by sharing a little bit about my testimony. From a young age, I began to drink alcohol and use substances to try to cope with my pain and my really deep sense of unworthiness. This went on from high school, where I was living this double life of getting straight A's and hanging out with a good group of people, to then hanging out with other people who were not a good influence on me, and going to parties and lying and doing things that I was not supposed to be doing. When I entered into college, I felt like I was free. I didn't know what true freedom felt like. I thought that if I put myself in these spaces where people were cool and I felt seen and loved by them only when I wore short skirts and crop top and did whatever they encouraged me to do. When I went deep into peer pressure, people pleasing, and fear of man, it gave Satan a foothold in my life that then became a stronghold. One yes led to many yeses, and I then was known as the yes girl, saying yes to drugs, promiscuity, and other things that were not good for me. I dived into this lifestyle where I felt like I was only seen or loved or appreciated if I did XYZ to please others and to be a part of these circles that were also broken and just living in their brokenness apart from Jesus. I was not surrounding myself by other believers that were encouraging me to come to Christ. I was surrounding myself with people who did not love Jesus, who were living lives apart from him, and who were encouraging me to dive deep into this lifestyle of sin and addiction. These people did not love me, and they did not love me enough to take me back to Jesus when some of them knew that I had grown up Christian, even though I was living this life now of sin. I was living this deceitful life. To the Christians, I wasn't walking in holiness, but I was pretending like I was and going to church on campus on Thursdays. But then the bus would pick us up down the street and I would go to the club that same night. Unfortunately, people saw me as someone who was always down to party, always down to take substances, always willing to put myself in these dangerous situations that at the time didn't seem very dangerous, but now looking back, it is by the grace of God that I am alive today. If it wasn't for his hand on my life, I would not be here right now. Addiction to alcohol and other substances led me down this hole that I could not get out of. It was repeated again and again and again. Year after year, I would have journal entries that would say that I'm going to stop, but I could not stop. It was beyond me. I needed a savior, and his name is Jesus. And I knew that I needed Jesus, but I was filled with so much shame and guilt and condemnation from the enemy that I didn't think that I could go back to Jesus after all that I had done, because I knew that he was watching me. I knew that he was there, because in my darkest, deepest moments, I would cry out to him to save my life, and every single time he would. But sometimes he did allow me to go through really terrible things so that I could understand that I needed him and that he was my only way out. Although those moments were so painful to me, I thank the Lord that he had mercy on me and that he showed me the darkest moments so that I can now see the fruit of being in the light. I will never in my entire life go back to the life that I had, because I saw the darkness, I saw the devil, I was demonized, and I was deep into addiction and oppressed by demonic entities that took over my body. And I specifically remember different moments where I would be saying things and doing things that were not me. And I knew that something was wrong. It was like this outer body experience. And now looking back, I know that I was demonized and that things had taken over my temple and it became their house to do whatever they wanted with me. Not because the Lord had taken me off of his list of redeemed children, but because I had given myself over. I had given myself over to sin. I allowed Satan to do what he wanted because I didn't think I was worthy of God. I didn't think I was worthy of love. I hated myself. I had so much self-loathing that it led me to just drink and do drugs and all this stuff that honestly just left this giant hole inside of me. Nothing could replace the void. Nothing could replace the hole that I had deep inside of myself except the love of Jesus. The love of Jesus is the only thing that is going to satisfy the emptiness in your soul. I need you to hear me, that I experienced the deepest, darkest, most empty holes in my life. The pits that I was in were so dark. I didn't know how I was going to get out. I didn't think I was going to get out. For me, it was a personal hell. I felt like I had experienced a personal hell where it was just dark and lonely and terrible, because that's what life is apart from Jesus. The temporary pleasures of this life are not going to satisfy you. Your flesh is not going to satisfy you. Following your selfish ambition is not going to satisfy you. Only Jesus and his love can cover a multitude of sins that can completely wreck your life and transform you into the image of the creator of the universe. Only the love of Jesus can give you eternity with the Father and allow your soul to rest in his perfect peace and unconditional agape love that is selfless. I reached some of my darkest moments and Jesus met me there. He saw me in my depression, in my ideation of trying to take my own life, in my messiness with men and wanting to be loved by people, in what I wore to get attention from men, only to be unsatisfied by the emptiness that it brought to be with them. God saw it all and he met me there and he loved me. And he said, "Come here, my child. You are mine. You are my beloved. You are righteous and holy and blameless in my sight." Because when I gave my life to him, he picked me up from that pit and he put my feet on a rock. He gave me a second chance. He said, "This is not what I have for you. I have so much more in store for you. You have purpose." And I'm telling you here today that you have purpose. You have identity in Jesus. You are a child of love. God sees your brokenness, but he also sees you prophetically in the spirit. He sees who you will become, and that is what identity shadows the past. You are not your past. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your sin. Your identity is not in what you do, but in whose you are. That you are a daughter of the Most High King, and that is what your identity is. God delivered me from depression and addiction and so much more. And in this series, I want to encourage you that if God did it for me, He can do it for you. This is a prophetic declaration that God will transform your life, that He will release you from the snare of the enemy, that He will free you from addiction and everything that is hindering you from becoming completely free in His blood. That it is by His blood on the cross that you have been set free as a child of God. It is His blood that makes you righteous and holy and blameless and nothing else. It is His blood that covers a multitude of your sins and makes you white as snow. Don't let the enemy lie to you and tell you otherwise, because Jesus paid a high price for your name and your life and your body as a living sacrifice and a temple for God. So I want you to know, beloved, that you are chosen. You are holy and blameless in His sight. Hear me? Yeah. You are chosen by God. You are a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. You are His beloved. And there is nothing that you've done or you are currently doing or you will do that could separate you from the love of Jesus. Nothing. That past is not who you are. Your mistakes are not who you are, and that dead man is gone. You have been redeemed and you are a new child of God. And if you have not accepted Jesus into your heart, I just want you to know that it's so easy. You just say, Jesus, I love you and I receive you into my heart. I want to be yours and I want you to be mine. I want you to be Lord over my life. And it's that simple, my friend. It's so simple to love Jesus. If you are struggling with any kind of addiction, I want you to know that Jesus can get you out of it. I've been clean, sober for 5 years, and never once have I thought of touching it again. I got completely, miraculously delivered. I didn't go to AA. I didn't do anything other than be in the presence of God and allow Him to shower me with His love. And He broke the chains off of me. And I have never been the same. And I pray this over you, beloved, that you would never be the same after you encountered the love of Jesus all over again. I pray that my story encourages you to seek God today. You can seek Him through prayer, through His word, through community, or just sitting in His presence. You don't have to earn or deserve His love. It is a gift that is freely given, so you can just do nothing. Just lay there and allow Him to shower you with His love. There's no expectations. There's just beholding Jesus and allowing Him to behold you. Thank you so much for listening to my testimony. If you found this video encouraging, please share this with other people and hit the like and subscribe button. I'm doing a series on things that God has healed me from in hopes that this would encourage you to seek God, to love yourself, and to share the love of Jesus with others. If you need resources to get you through the day, I have an incredible coloring book that has brought so much healing to me and so many other people. It's called Jesus is My Joy, and it's a way for you to express yourself creatively with the creator of the universe and have that intimate, quiet time with Jesus where He can pour His love on you and heal you from anything that you're going through. I also have jewelry, apparel, stationery, and other things that are prophetically prayed over and will encourage you to seek God, love yourself, and share the gospel with other people. I love you so much, and please let me know if you need anything, if you need prayer or someone to talk to in the comments. I would love to share resources and encourage you during this time. I'll see you for the next episode. As always, don't forget that you were created to be loved by Jesus.